that the leaders have been very patient, ndio? Pigia hao makofi. Unajua mwanasiasa kuweka kwa mahali moja for 5 hours sio rahisi. Sasa unajua huo mnatesa ma chiefs na assistant chief, hata leo mteseke kidogo. Because unajua I know nimekuwa kwa siasa. Mwanasiasa anafika mkutano, amefika Ijumaa, anatoka Nairobi, anataka kwenda mazishi 6. Anafika, anapata padre ameshaanza mahubiri, ndio hiyo anataka kushika microphone, anaambiwa kuja salimia watu 1 minute ndio uende. Anasimama anasema hata ajui nani amekufa, anasema nimekuja kusema pole sana. Alafu saa hizo anauliza mtu ni nani amekufa. Kumbe anaona mtu ako na kitambaa, anaanza kusema huyu mama mwenye analala hapa alikuwa rafiki yangu sana. Anaambiwa ni mwanaume alikuwa Lejo Maria. So leo tumekuwa hapa na nyinyi na mmeona wote wameketi chini kusikiliza. Si namna hiyo? Nitasema machache sana kujibu ile mmerais, alafu nitawapatia viongozi wetu tufunge. Kwanza wacha niseme kabla sijajibu haya maswali yote na mambo ambayo mmerais hapa, niko pia na mambo yangu tu mawili, only 2, yenye ningependa pia kuambia nyinyi. Number 1, mimi nataka niwakumbushe ya kwamba tuko hapa kama ma chief, assistant chief, OCSs na viongozi wenu wote, tukiwa watu wachache sana katika Kenya ambao wako na bahati kuwa na kazi. Watu wengi, na haswa kazi ya serikali, watu wengi sana wangependa kuwa na kazi kama sisi, lakini hawana. Wanaomba. Hata ile recruitment inakuja, vijana wengi wanang'ang'ana wapate nafasi kuingia polisi ama KDF ama nafasi yote ya kupata kazi. Kwa hivyo tukiwa hapa, we are already a few percentage of the privileged lot. Na kabla hatujauliza mambo yetu, mahitaji yetu ya kibinafsi na kikazi, lazima tukumbuke kwanza ni kwa nini tuliomba kazi hii. Why did we ask for this job in the first place? Kuna chiefs hapo wamesema waliandikwa a year ago, hata hawajalipwa salary. Wako wapi? Wacha nione. Naona wako wengi hapa, hata yeye. Sasa wewe chief, si uliandikwa 1 year ago? 3 years now, Lakini siku yenye ulienda interview, wakati uliapply hii job, so ulikuwa unajua chief kwamba hakuna ofisi, hakuna motorbike, si ndio? Sio salary tutasema hiyo. So ulikuwa unajua hiyo, lakini bado uliapply hii kazi. Kwa nini wewe uliapply? Hiyo ya salary tutasort. Kuna chiefs wengi hapa keti tu, walienda interview, siku ya interview wakaulizwa, wakaambiwa, chief, unajua kwa hii location hakuna ofisi na wewe bado unataka hii kazi? Akasema, mimi I'm very creative and innovative, I work under minimum supervision, na penye itakuwa ofisi yangu. Okay, kwa sababu walikuwa 20, akawekewa hiyo max, akaona body language nini, wakawekea 8 out of 10. Akauliza swali ya pili, akaambiwa, chief, wewe hakuna motorbike ya hii location, utasunguka aje ufikie wananchi? Nasema, mimi kila wakati mimi natembea huko nikimingo na wananchi, motorbike ni ya nini? Wakaona huyu mbaya, si mbaya, wakaweka 9 out of 10. Siku yenye aliingia ofisi, hiyo ofisi gani hata haina motorbike, haikae kama ofisi ya rais, hakuna ofisi imejengwa. So you need to remember that all these other things we have asked today is secondary to the initial call that you had to serve. And if you have that calling to serve, you must serve diligently. Lazima ujitolee kwa roho yote, ukue innovative, maneuver through the challenges that are there. Like we said earlier, wewe OCS uliomba kazi ukasema utafanya kazi anywhere. Kwanza OCS wenye wako hapa mliandikwa wakati you might have been the only person in your location because mlikuwa wachache mliandikwa. So you are privileged. Be creative. Like I said earlier, ukifika police station huko na hakuna ofisi ama hakuna cell ile mzuri ama hakuna nini, sanya the local community hapo, ita baraza na uite chief na uite MCA, mwambie sasa bwana MCA, ndio hii, this is the only police station tuko nayo, tutaendeleaje? Tafuta mbunge, ambia mbunge hii place iko namna gani, tungetaka kusaidiwa. Don't go and sit there and say si watu shauri yao, wacha nipitishe masaa zangu sikwende alafu nisonge. Remember the position you hold at the moment. You are a leader. You are already a leader. And every step, every place you go, you must put in place your leadership skills. Interact with the local community. Be available. Ukikuwa kama OCS na wende ujifungie kwa police station, how will you serve the local community? Ukikuwa OCS, uendi kanisa, uendi mazishi, uendi msikiti around hapo, uendi hata harusi. How will you interact? How will you win people to your side if you are not interacting with them? You are not conversing with them. You are not sitting with them. There is no other way. If you are around a university, Maseno University, sijui Kisumu, you must make friends. Ujue nani ni student leader. They must be your friends. You must have their numbers. Waambie sasa kiongozi, mkipata shida yote pigia mimi kwa hii number, nitawasaidia. You cannot leave the gap between you and the students and expect that they will. You see, I like what that OCS said. First of all, you must know you have a job. And you need some people to help you do that job. So you must build the relationships and the networks that will help you do your job. Because at the end of the day, other people will do your job, but you will take credit. Tomorrow, tukikuja hapo watu wanasema usitoe huyu OCS. Huyu ni OCS wetu. And it's very easy to do an opinion poll who is a good OCS. You just go to a place na unasema, nimeona kwamba mnaendelea vizuri sana na uongozi ya poli. Watu wanasema toa huyo saa hii. Saa hii kabisa. Lakini kuna mahali unaenda unasema sasa huyu OCS amekaakaa sana, tunataka kutransfer. Watu wanakuambia please, hata kama ni kupromote na abaki hapa. Why? The two demonstrates the role of leadership. You know, wewe chief, you are a person of that community. You must be the leader. Ukifika stage wewe chief, wakati baraza inafanywa, watu wanasema wewe chief, ngoja kwanza wewe songa. Wacha hii mzee atuongeleshe. Ujue wewe ni chief kwa ofisi, lakini huyo mzee ndio chief ya hiyo area. You must be the one who is the leader in character, in behavior, in commitment. You must always be the one who is a leader. So let's be diligent. Let's seek to do the right thing all the time. Let's work as a team. By the time wewe OCS unakosana na chief, na ni chief ni mtu ya area hiyo, he is very enthusiastic to do your job. There can only be one reason. It's because uko na hika control ya kucontrol mali. There is no way the OCPD can have a car and then the DCC anatembea na mkuu. You cannot always tembea na mkuu. Lazima mkuu pamoja. You must work in multi-agency level together. Chief na DCC, ACC, kila moja wetu. We must pull our resources together, our time together. We are only serving the same people. We are trying to help each other succeed. And that's why this Jukwaa la Usalama is supposed to be just an example on how it is easy to bring everybody together, including wananchi. You've heard me in other places, nimesema. What is so private about security that when you have your sub-county security meetings, you cannot invite the chairman of Border Border? What is so private about security that when you have sub-county security meeting, you cannot invite leaders of students? We have said incorporate business community, leaders of Border Border, leaders of Matatu, chief persons who are leading student leaders in the university and dean of students. Invite them, have a meeting at least once a month or once in 2 months to discuss the states of security in that area. That way, those are the people who are your partners in sorting your problems in the locality. And the day mtu wants to attack a police station, watu watasema, this is our police station. You have a community where the opinion leaders have never even stepped in your police station. Why? Because there is a distance between the police and the community. So, when we live here, go and organize Jukwaa la Usalama mashinani. in the best way you can so that it can help you be able to solve your security and leadership issues at the local level. You are a leader. And a leader, the Bible says, the Lord is my shepherd. A leader is a shepherd. He leadeth me to fine waters, to green pastures. You must lead. You must lead your people. But, you know, some of you, instead of being a shepherd, you are a butcher. You know, a leader, a shepherd, akienda mbele, kondoo inamfuata. Lakini a butcher, anafukusananga na kondoo. Anapika na huku, nini, anapika pembe, anakula kondoo. Na some of you mnakula kondoo literally. Yeah? Kuna chiefs wanaripotiwa, chief fulani alipatikana kwa lodging fulani na kondoo fulani, amefukuzwa, amepita dirisha, anabeba longi kwa mkono. Wewe bado utasimamia nani? Hata tukikuachilia utasimamia nani? You must behave yourself because you chose this job. And it's a job of leadership. It's also a job of sacrifice. You must be willing to go out of your way to make sure that you serve. That's why mnaenda usiku, mnaenda saa ngapi, mnaingia kwa pombe. And I agree with you, of course, that mkienda, at least we must take care of your interest. Ukikuwa injured, wakati unatetea na kutumikia watu wetu. Tumeelewana mpaka hapo? I think that is important for you to appreciate. We have not come here. We've come here to do teamwork, to build teamwork. Even us at the ministry there, if we sit there and say, mimi ni bwana mkubwa, nitakuwa nakaa Harambee House, story nitolewe, nisikie, nisome report, nipige simu tena, niambie county commissioner shauri yako, the work will not be done. That's why we are coming to sit with you like this. So that tuonane uso na uso, tujue hii waziri ni nani. Na is he willing to listen to our issues? Huyu PS ni nani? And so forth and so forth. The same to county commissioner, regional commissioner. You must have teamwork. You must. Sasa ukijifungia Kisumu hapa, madam commissioner, RC, itakuwa makosa. You have to go Barasa huko, uende Sondu, uende wapi, uende huko Highland. That is what it is. You know, thank you very much. Hata kama ni kuomba mtu lift, it's okay. Wakati imekwama, unasukuma, hata kama ni ya kusukuma, usukumiwe na vijana. Wakati hii procurement inaendelea, wewe unasonga. We must always realize that it's such a privilege to serve. And some of these jobs are temporary. Yeah? There reaches a time you are not in that office. You must leave a mark that people can remember. Number two, we must confront the demon called corruption. We must face it head on. You see, because hapa watu wanajua tuko hapa na tukiwa hivi ni serikali. So you are the face of government. Why people think kabisa, why even they are rating us the highest in corruption? It's because we are distributed the lowest level in the community and we are providing essential services for the safety of the citizens. So any action that is around corruption, umechukua pesa ya mtu ya matatu, umenyang'anya mtu ya bodaboda. Mtu ya bodaboda, by the way, bodaboda hata sio yake. Kuna mtu amenunua bodaboda, amepatia kijana aran na anamwambia kila jioni unanipatia shilingi 500. Miangapi? 300 Inakuwa ngapi? 300. So, huyo ametengeneza 400 kwa siku. Polisi amechukua 200. Ikabaki ngapi? 200. Huwezi pelekea hata mwenye bodaboda. Just imagine the kind of anger that lives in the society because of that corruption. Someone will go out of their way. Akisikia police station achomwa, atakuwa wa kwanza kuwa mbele kuchoma police station. Because anaona that is the center of his entire problems. Ukweli ama sio kweli? Wewe chief, ukiwa hapa community, there is a lot of work you do on succession. Unasaidia families on matter succession. Kwa sababu ya pesa kidogo unataka, unaandikia family yenye iko na pesa, maybe it is polygamous family, una favor one, unawacha nyingine. You create despondency in the community. And you know, watu hawaongee kuhusu chief because chief apikiwi kura, hawaongee kuhusu OCS. hiyo enga inakuwa transferred to nani? To the president. It's in the office of the president. So siku ya campaign watu wanasema hii serikali ni corrupt. Hata hawajawahi kutana na president ama minister, wanajua tu ni chief na OCS ndio wametumaliza hapa. This is the most corrupt government. So we have to deal with this issue. Now we must respect ourselves. Because sasa wewe unachukua pesa, nilikuwa nauliza base commander mwingine. Akasema saa zingine wanaangusha tu kwa dirisha. Ati watu wa matatu wanaangushia hapo. So wakishaenda tunaona kuna kashilingi ilikuwa hapo, ati unachukua unaweka tena anaenda anaangusha. Lakini ni hatari sana. Let me tell you. Yeah? Let me tell you, wapi base commander huko sema hiyo maneno leo, lakini hii unajua wote hii watu yote ni corrupt, lakini sasa yenye watu wanaonanga ni kwa barabara because watu wengi wanatembea. So huyo mtu ya unaona mtu anasimama hivi anaangalia, hata mtu ya matatu anajua tu, conductor anajua tu hakuna kitu anaona, anaangalia hapo mbele ati anaona insurance na hakuna, anaona hapo na anaenda kuona insurance nyingine kwa nyuma na hakuna insurance inawekwa nyuma. So wakati anapiga kona hivi hapo ndio anasalimiana wakipitana na conductor. Sababu unaona tu kari inagongwa pap anaenda na mkono haibaki hivyo, inaenda kwanza hapa alafu inarudi tena ndio isimamishe gari nyingine. Please guys, we must deal with this issue. And I'm not saying that the traffic people are not doing a good job. They are doing a very good job. There is a lot of work they do. They deal with accident scenes. They go to court. They process many things. They are the ones who help you, even for you to be able to claim for insurance and so forth. Like in the few instances where we are collecting money is messing up our sector. And that is the same to us in the ministry, and that is the same to yourselves. If we have to provide leadership, we must deal with matters corruption. Now, on the issues of this county, first, tumeongea hapa mambo ya goons, gangs, and so forth. And the teacher has spoken very well, the leader of the border sector. We respect the border sector. We definitely respect the border sector. Transport officers, yeah, in the border sector, yeah. We respect them very much. I was in transport, and I'm the one who gazetted the county security, county transport committees, and the whole plan was to find a way of regulating the border sector and self-regulation. Yeah. We also respect our young people because they are looking for jobs. They are trying to get jobs. But in the process, we should not allow either border or young people who are not in the border sector to organize themselves into criminals who are terrorizing wananchi. And the only way we are going to be able to solve this issue is to have honest, candid conversation at the grassroots level. The police have promised in our security meeting today that they will carry out serious operation to arrest anybody who, in the name of politics or any other way, is carrying a knife, is carrying rungus, machetes, is carrying all kinds of things to terrorize residents. We are willing, we have no problem with any elected leader walking around with their leaders, but it must not lead to a situation where someone is being forced to do certain things because there is a gang. We were told in another county, I don't want to mention the name, that even county government is using goons, to force government policy. That if the county government people are not complying in certain village with county government thing, the leadership of the county government wanafika na goons. Wanakaa chini wanasema nani anapinga mambo ya serikali, na ni watu wenye wanatoa macho na ni macho mekundu na wameshika chuma kabisa, wanaangalia kuona nani kwa baraza hii kwa vile. Na kwa sababu wananchi wanajua ni goons, kila mtu anasema tumekubaliana, kiongozi tumekubaliana, atipitishwe at public participation imeisha. That level of intimidation is unacceptable. So we have agreed, there is a way we have agreed with our security team. And the president is trying his best. Climate works, mambo ya construction site, and we are all trying to find ways of ensuring that our young people can get jobs. Even the border sector, properly organized, is a multi-billion economic sector. We just need self-regulation first. before even government regulation. They respect themselves, they determine their routes, they have proper uniform. Some of the border who have become criminals, for example, who are being told in Kisumu, they are being forced to wear uniform of particular politicians and then torture people. We cannot accept that. We want border to have border uniform based on their sectors, designated areas. As told here in Milimani, there is a small organized team that can be replicated in other parts of the county. So that, and you can learn something from the Matatu sector. This is fairly organized. We can also organize the border sector to circles that can be accountable. And chair or a spokesman of border, I have no fear of contradiction. I have not said it's already in the law, but this is where we should go. Border is transport of last mile to access areas that you cannot have vehicles and you cannot have buses and you cannot have train and so forth. We cannot have a pillion passenger being carried on a highway by a border. Ati anatuanga umebeba mtu kutoka Nairobi unakuja Nakuru. That should not be the case. It should be the case that there's designated areas where it is transport of last mile. We are losing so many people in highways, including in Nairobi, you know, because of border. I don't know the statistics in here in Nakuru, in Kisumu. But in Nairobi, especially in the dual carriage areas and so forth, you have many of the pillion passengers being losing their lives because of that. There must be designated areas, and then but that will come with the rules and the regulations that you are dealing with. And this conversation, if city center is also for county government to decide, even if they are coming to city center, to which part of the city center, and how will it make sure that there is sanity and order in the transport sector. Or number two is sexual and gender-based violence. As I said earlier, this is very prevalent here. We are 36%, national average is 32%. But also sexual and gender-based violence is a crisis in the country, not just one county. I am happy with the chief who said part of the reasons why in some counties it's being reported more than others is because of the proactiveness of the chiefs to make sure that these issues are reported. We should not shy away from reporting, trying to reduce the statistics. No. Let us report. But it's not enough to report. Let us also make sure that it's reported, and these people, statements are recorded by DCI, and they are sent to the DPP, and they are charged in a court of law. The judiciary, I must defend the judiciary. The judiciary is fairly sympathetic to solving cases of sexual and gender-based violence. Unlike in alcohol and goons, the judiciary is more sympathetic in dealing with these issues. So we need to just do proper investigation and make sure that the characters are presented before court so that we can be able to deal with these issues. We know that this issue is prevalent and we must help each other. Border people, please help us. Help us deal and protect with our young people. In Kisumu County, for example, it's being told that children are being forced to go to school very early in the morning. That should not be the case. The schools know that the rules are such that schools should only expect the children at about 7 a.m. This thing of getting children to walk at about 5 in the morning and they are not being escorted by anybody in dark areas are things that we must deal with. Lighting is also, in these places, is also perpetuating crime. And county government, let's work together to make sure that we install more lights that can help people to work in an environment that is safe and secure. The other issue is about our lake. You know, our lake here is our lake is also our border. Yeah? Our lake is also our border. And we know there are certain things we have agreed we need to do in our security meeting in the morning. First, we need to increase government presence, border patrol unit presence in a number of places. And immediately within a month or so, we have agreed with the IG that we must have a presence in Mangeta, Ringiti, and Sori, to add to the places where we have. I think those are places. Thank you, DIG. We must increase our presence there so that we have proper enforcement to protect our country, but also to protect our fishermen. We have also agreed that in our modernization program, we are working on procuring more boats and more equipment that will help Coast Guard and the Border Patrol Unit to make sure that they patrol our lakes. This is the case in Lake Victoria, as is the case in Lake Turkana, where we have a similar problem. As I told you earlier, in Lake Turkana, the fish breeding is happening in Ethiopia, and the fish come to Kenya. It becomes a cause of conflict. In Lake Victoria, breeding is happening in Kenya, and the fish is swimming across. And since the fish does not have, they are fish without border, and we cannot give them passports, and we cannot tag them, there is no other way we will work. We must work in a coordinated manner as the three countries. In this lake, the president had a meeting with President Museveni, and I was in that meeting, and it was agreed that through the joint agreement and the Two Nations Commission, Joint Commission, we are going to have a framework of joint exploitation of fish resources in this lake so that we reduce the problem. I also had a very good proposal from the county security team in the morning that we might need to have a liaison officer from Uganda based here in Kisumu, and we have also a liaison officer from Kenya based on the other side, so that when issues come up, we quickly thrash them and resolve those issues. The land issues, I have heard you. We are going to engage the lands ministry to also deal with their issues of corruption. As we deal with ours on this side, that lands ministry also must deal with corruption issues. On border security, I've heard you. The border on the side of Kericho has one chief corresponding with 4 chiefs on this other side. So we must implement the administrative units on the other side to assist us. And also the NCIC has done a good job in the past. We want them to do even more. And we want to come and complete a peace process that was going on to put together the peace committees from the 2 counties so that we can ensure that the relationship is built between the 2 counties. And it should not depend on political goodwill. It must be a process that brings together everybody. I think those are some of the key issues in this county. Now, on your welfare, I will run through the welfare issues very quickly. Number 1, you have asked issues of mobility. Vehicles is a problem, and I agree. The last procurement was done in 2013. At that moment, we have a shortage of a good critical number of vehicles that we need. The leasing program is being worked out, and that leasing program, at the moment, PS is here, and the PS Treasury, they are working on something between the 2 ministries. We hope that we can get the leasing program go on. We are targeting about 3,000 cars. We are hoping we will close in before October, but it looks like it might drag on up to December. We are hoping that we can have the vehicles leased so that we can supply to yourselves. We have a problem, and it is a real problem. A real problem. And it is not confined to Kisumu. Most of our police stations, most of our counties do not have vehicles, or almost all, at least have critical problems in a number of the police stations. I know also the SCCs are the most affected. They're the ones who have no single cars. The SCCs who are here. Yeah? Madam SCC, where are you? Yeah? Sometimes you have to go with border, right? Yeah? Yeah. You have to work with OCS to help you. But where there is none, unatumia border.
Absolutely, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Unaona huyo SCC sasa anapanda border. Yeah? Akienda kazi. Alafu msee wa border anamwambia shika vizuri. Yeah? Na akikataa kushika vizuri anaenda mbio na kufunga break. So the SCC has no choice. Yeah? So lazima tuchunge this situation that we have. Niliambiwa huko Makweni na SCC moja alikuwa anaenda Barasa, amebebwa na boda. Mtu wa boda alipoona mkutano imekaa namna amekaribia, akaweka ka style na madoido, akaangusha Madam SCC. Alipoangusha kofia ikaanguka. Ati mtu akashout kwa mkutano akasema serikali imeanguka, you know. So we don't want serikali ianguke. We want to make sure that transport. Umesikia Bwana Piers, serikali isianguke vile tunaambiwa hapa. I want us to work together. We will see how to deal with this transport issue. On the question of your offices, I'm glad our leaders are here. Let's help each other through CDF to build as many police stations, as particularly chiefs and assistant chiefs offices, particularly to make sure that we have infrastructure. We thank you for what you have done already. I am the one person who supports NGCDF 100%. My opinion is different from other leaders. I support NGCDF 100%. And the reason being, I see the practical solution it gives at the local level. And it gives an opportunity to people at the local level, the committees, to decide the programs they want. And you chiefs, in your barazas and in decisions of NGCDF, working with your MPs, let us also support programs that will build the police station so that we can be able to move forward together. Mambo ya village elders, I totally agree with you, Mama, on the issue of village elders. We are in the final stage of the CAB memo. It's been signed by my colleagues. I'll present before cabinet, and then we'll see direction how to support the village elders. We will see how best we can be able to support you. It will not be employment, so it's not that it's salary. We're just looking for honoraria of some sort to support your work, ya kununua torch, na gumboots, na airtime, na nini, ya kusongesha, and also some insurance for those who are unable to pay for SHA. It can assist them to be able to do so, as they assist the other security architecture to solve their problems. The other issue that I know as of great concern is, I have already said earlier, we have agreed we will have a policy after this on transfers, and we have a policy on promotions. That will deal with all these issues, including the structure of promotion for chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the ACCs. Kuna also chiefs wako, in terms of rank, wako juu ya ACCs, and then they are being monitored, they are being supervised by the ACCs. That is an issue that we have to deal with. And so already we are having Conversation Public Service Commission as part of the output from this meeting. That is an issue that will make great contribution to it. We also want to reserve, when we advertise for the ACC's jobs, we'll reserve some of the jobs for the qualified chiefs so that they can rise to those positions of the ACCs. But you must go for interview. We'll just reserve the possibility so that you can, there is the Public Service Act requires that everybody must go through suitability test so that you can get to move to that level. And I know some of the chiefs and teachers, chiefs and people who are chiefs and former teachers who apply to be ACCs are struggling to fit into the rank within the ACCs issues. And again, we are working on that part. The ACCs of 2021, who are now almost due for promotion, you need first to go for the training. I think there are 300 of you. And His Excellency the President gave directives when we were at the graduation of the other ACCs, and you have been allowed to go for training. So anytime next month, all the 300 of you will go for the training so that you can qualify for your next stage of promotion. We also don't want you to wait. We want to make sure that the 300 ACCs that are due for promotion for the 2021 cohort, we want to make sure that they are going for the training from next month so that they can be promoted. What have I not said? The question of AIE. Yeah, AIE is AIE for all, for the police, for all of you, is being worked out. We want to see how best, looking at the budget. You see, let me tell you something, why the AIE kept coming down. The location, which was a location 8 years ago, is 3 locations now. Okay? Without corresponding increase on the side of the budget. So it ended up being that where that jurisdiction where the chief was getting 30,000, or was getting 50, it comes down. So we are doing that. We must do proper costing so that when we improve the AIE, it becomes also sustainable. So I want to do after this proper costing. Remember, before even you speak about AIs, you have 56 locations that have not been operationalized. And not 56 sub-locations, and I think 20-something locations. And one sub-county. 34 locations. 56 sub-locations. You have sub-counties. You have so why have we not operationalized since 2016, 2017? It's for the same reasons. To employ another chief extra requires a salary, and the salary has not been budgeted for. So what we are working on first is even to get these administrative units be operationalized, so that then it's followed by the commensurate AIE. So we need about PS 2.5. We need 2.5 billion shillings extra to our budget to operationalize all the administrative units. So we are working on it. Part of the reason why we wanted to listen to everybody is to strengthen our argument and to carry along everybody, including our elected leaders, so that when we go sit down and work on the budget, we work on it together. And please, believe me, this is something of great concern to us. The administrative units and the AIE is something we will work on, including the fuel. As I said, one of the biggest challenges with the police officers who have the vehicles is that they don't have the fuel, for the simple reason that their allocation is 450 liters per car. So I am glad the OCS proposed 750, but there is almost a consensus. Let us start with 650 for now. So we are going to work to move it to 650 per vehicle, and then we try to ensure that for the areas like Turkana, Marsabit, Northeastern, where they collect their fuel very far, we see how we can ensure that the fuel is collected somewhere nearer, so that then it can reduce also the wastage in that regard. We want to request county governments also to invest in ambulances, so that when you have accident scenes, we don't depend on police officers to go and rescue people, because then that again takes away some of the operational resources. On the issue of drugs and alcohol, we have also said that operation must continue. We already have the names of the places we want to target. So we'll work together to see what we are going to do, and the people who have been profiled. There's even a link of some of them operating from Kisumu to Nairobi. Kisumu is the third highest, it's number 3 in Kenya among the counties where there is a high prevalence of illicit alcohol. So something has to be done. And you are number 5 in the use of drugs and substance abuse, especially cannabis sativa. So we have to do something. We have a job to do as a security sector for serious crackdown. Some of these people you're calling gangs, they are carrying these drugs, alcohol, and they are carrying machetes and knives. They must be charged for those things. You don't have to say they are gangs. All of them can be swept and charged for the criminal activities they involve themselves in, if they are not abiding by the law and order. You have so many other things. I was trying to summarize them so that I don't have to read each one of them. But it looks like you want to sleep inside this tent. Training has been an issue. And as I said earlier, training will be, I don't want to repeat. This is we will make sure that it's ongoing. And that's why 60-something number of chiefs are leaving tomorrow for the training. And by December, we'll have completed the training for all the chiefs, among other issues. Mambo ya extraneous allowance and hardship allowance, we have had you. We'll take that up. On the citizen services, we are going to open Moroni within the next 2 months. We must have, in the Moroni constituency, we must have an office there, because that's the farthest one. And then we come to Kisumu East, because Kisumu East can come later because nearer the town, but at least Moroni must come immediately within the next 2 months, so that people can get birth certificates nearer home there and so forth. And I've had you also in terms of other government services, all the sub-counties where we gazette to bring other government services closer. Again, we'll have to work with our leaders to make sure that the office space is there, so that then we can encourage other ministries to bring their services closer. Licensing of alcohol and sale of alcohol, county governments, this is your job. You need to do something about it. We'll roll out Ngapu soon after we have initiated this, what do you call, initiated the recruitment. Stock theft, again, we have agreed with the security sector what to do. Compensation, we agree, our chiefs, WIBA also delays in some cases. We want to, in our report, we'll make sure that that is expedited. That includes also pension and gratuity for those who retire. On the issue of team building, I totally agree. We must have a reward system and bring back team building sessions for all of us. Maintenance of police station, that's AIE issue, and we must deal with that. Promotion policy, strength, road designs, layers with political leaders in issues of goons. Please, that is true. Some leaders have bouncers who are goons, and some don't. So we have to really engage them. And our security sector is going to engage specifically everybody, including governors, senators, MPs, so that we make sure that things go well. I hope my friend Professor Anyang' Nyong'o doesn't have DG. Does he have his wing? I don't think he can afford to have goods at his, not because he doesn't have money, but at his age, he should be leaving very good legacy for peace. And I believe he does so. Yeah, so we make sure that we work together to sort out these issues. Harmonization of KPS and NPS, we'll do that. Coast Guard issues, electronic tracking, training. Thank you for the young people who presented their solution here. I'm going to listen to them. Fuel issues for the prison, I agree, and vehicles for prison also. Modern, whatever, public, instant fine system, I agree. Tools to village elder support, security. Jukwaa Wasomi, we will support you. And the PS office will support you. Here we have a program to make sure that we support Jukwaa Wasomi for our students in college and the university. Comrades power, eh? Yeah, so we will support you. All these other things, human-wildlife conflict, I've already asked our peers to speak to the PS wildlife so that compensation issues also are taken care of seriously in this region, just the way it is done in other parts of the country. Insurance for border, all those conversations, rescue, PWD issues, I agree, gender-based violence, licensing, vetting of persons, vetting for giving IDs that was removed. So chiefs, you know what to do. You are the ones who take responsibility in identifying residents in your location and facilitating them to get IDs. And then IPOA with the police, we must be able to build that good relationship between IPOA and the police. Medical cover is already being discussed, especially for the police. There has been a lot of complaint in the existing medical cover. So mnipigia makofi. I know I've not exhausted everything. Before I give Mheshimiwa Oron, not Aaron, Oron. Before I give him the mic to come and invite, actually before I give the speaker to recognize the MCAs and then say a few words and then invite the MP, let me take this opportunity to invite our PS. You know PS Raymond Omolo? Mchapakazi. Yeah? Adi? Okay, Wadasumi. Yeah? You know, we work together as a ministry. This teamwork, we are trying to push you to work together. Even us at the ministry level, we work together seamlessly. maybe because he has been my friend for many years, okay? We were in the university together. We have worked this journey together. Even when he was here at Lake Basin Development Authority, we used to consult together in Nikiwa Senate. And I know Raymond has the capacity, the willingness, the hard work to help us sort out the issues within the ministry. And because he's the accounting officer and he's the one who will have to finally put together the resources, and also is the lead person to the Human Resource Issues with Public Service Commission. What is that called? The officer? What? Oh, yeah, authorized officer. Kiingereza imepotea. It is now my singular duty to invite our peers to say a few words before I invite the MCA to say it.
Thank you, Waziri.